Hello everyone and welcome to the Extreme Tig channel. So for today's video guys, I got a 6-inch carbon pipe. I got to set up repair. This is not first of all, this is not a x-ray actually. I did it by purpose. There was lots of comments and demands to show how to do repair. So I did one and I really enjoyed doing it. So I'm gonna show you. This is a burn through. There should be lots of porosity inside. You can see by the burn through there's several factors that cause the burn through: excessive heat input, inadequate joint preparation, incorrect welding technique. So in this case it's gonna be incorrect welding technique. That means you're hold on to one spot for too long. Your travel speed is too slow. So I'm gonna show you how to fix it. First and most, what I do with a grinding disc, 1/4 inch grinding disc, I take off the cap for that section where apparently is appeared on a X-ray film. This is where usually where they mark for you. That's where you got to do repair. So when I do it, remove the cap. Once you got flush with the material, then I just run one in the middle. This is like the center of your bevel pretty much. And now to open up a little more, I just do like a X shape. That's with a kind of manipulation with your grinder, like an X shape, just to open up that weld. Now when you go halfway, there's some indication for the porosity that can show up right away. The best thing, just use the wire wheel and clean that repair section, and if there any porosity, it's gonna show up right away, especially after running a buffing wheel. As you can see here, there's a porosity right away. It's visible. And now we're gonna, the next step, I'm just gonna switch to 1/8, or you can even switch to 332 disc. It doesn't matter, whatever works for you, and start chasing that porosity. Pretty much you gotta go all the way probably through the root, take it out, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. This is one of the most common repairs, especially with the Tig welding. Porosity, it can be caused by, as I said, several factors. It can be your just all the loose parts on your torch. You know, there's a gas leaking above, underneath your torch head. That can cause porosity as well. Bad preparation on your pipe. You know, there's oil and grease and things. If there depends from the material as well. If it's if you guys didn't follow any procedure very well, or the pipe should be baked out and it was in service before, it's just to replace one section. That's what usually caused especially on a carbon. I mean, as you can see here, one of the other most common mistake the welders are not the welder's fault, but one of the issues we got when you got porosity inside the wall. So that means it's gonna open up our gap even more. So to chase that porosity out and to clean them, you gotta open that gap, and that's gonna cause extra additional problem for us. So now we gotta deal, especially, so imagine this is in a field in position, and usually the repair is always, let's say in 80% of cases, it's like overhead, so underneath section from 6 to 9 or 6 to 3 o'clock. And now we gotta open up, and that's gonna give us to almost 1/2 inch wide gap. And you know, the X-ray is coming after repair, and definitely you don't want to have another repair. So the best thing to do in this case, well, first of all, you gotta clean everything. So pretty much everybody's using banana knives. That's like little curved with a curved tip knife that goes inside, and you can clean it, or you can just grab a hacksaw blade. I usually have a small one, and try to clean both sides, both edges of your weld. You want to get rid of all that pipe burr on the side. You want to have nice and clean. You can reshape it again with a grinder, or even with cubitrons, whatever. Try to rebevel it again, try to reshape it, as you can see. But now, as I said, now we're dealing with a big gap. So one of the first thing you can do, we can lower that, we can try to reduce the width of that gap by building one side and then adding material and building the other side. And you might repeat those steps maybe even a couple times, and that's gonna lower or reduce the width of our gap, which and then we gotta use the grinder. You have to reshape it again, do feather edge. It takes a little bit of work, but definitely helps helps a lot. This is one of the way if you don't want to really risk and try to weld that wide gap. Depends also from your skill set, how comfortable you feel, or as I said, if you got experience, probably it's doable, but it might be risky. This is the safest way. Just try to do build up on both sides. This is exactly what I'm doing here. Don't go too hot, just enough to put some material on a bevel, so you don't want to get that material inside your root as we cleaned them before. So you don't want to do it again. Just try to go do the build up just by the edge of that bevel on both sides. Now I'm just gonna connect it to the top. Okay, this is how you should look the first pass. Now I'm gonna grab a grinder and I'm just gonna reshape both sides. Use the angle, so 35 degrees angle with your grinder, and try to rebevel it again. You can get about 1/8, 532, or even for me the best if you guys got cubitrons. Cubitron, it works really good. It's like a sanding disc. So I'm gonna do it again, do more build up, and that's how you do build up slowly. That's it might take a little bit time, but it doesn't matter. It takes take time as much as you need, especially it's X-ray after repair, so you want to get it done correctly. This is the proper step to do it. Just do a nice build up, and this is X-ray safe, guys, 100%. So you don't have to worry about it as you're building material, and it's not gonna be any issue as you're gonna rebevel it again, and it's gonna be just regular as a pipe. Okay, now it's the gap is a little bit less now. I'd say maybe a loose 532, probably even more, probably 1/4 inch, I would say. Okay, now you can do it again, but in this case I feel comfortable enough, so I'm just gonna start welding it. This is pretty good gap for me. I'm okay. For you, if you're not feel comfortable, just do one more time, two more time, three more time, whatever it takes. You can reduce it down to 1/8 again. As I said, it takes time, but this is how I'm doing it. So you want to lower down the amps. This is around maybe 105 amps, 1/8 rod, and I'm just dipping sides and bridging. Pretty much bridging. Dip one side and drag the rod. Wait for other side to cool down. Just keep an eye on your inclination, and you don't dip inside the root, you kind of outside the edge. Your rod, this is where I'm holding. I'm just dipping pretty much on the inside of that edge, inside the bevel, and just stretching that puddle, just connecting, doing like a it's like if you're doing a bridge tacks. This is pretty much a similar technique. As I said, just adjust your settings, adjust your amps, adjust your travel speed, and just nice and slow, just connect, and that should be 100% X-ray for X-ray good, so you don't have to worry about anything. As I said, every time you do a build up, just make sure you clean, you rebevel, reshape it again, so you have a nice good picture. If it's still too wide, just keep building walls until you get a perfect gap that you are comfortable with, and then you can just start welding. As I said, this is probably 1/4 inch, and I'm pretty good with that. Now this is how it looks from outside. Now we're gonna check it inside. I'm gonna take a peek on how the root looks like from inside. This is the bottom part. I'm not worried about that. That's gonna be with a hot pass. And there you go. This is what you got for that repair on the root. This is pretty good. That's how it should look like. It's a little bit wide compared to the rest of the root, but that's normal because we had a repair. So looks solid, looks good. Now for the hot pass, pretty much same thing. I'm just gonna run a hot pass. I'm gonna just do one pass. One pass for the hot pass. Stretch both sides. Some people they can go two, especially when you got a wide gap. Most of you guys, you can do also 2 passes, hot pass, like 2 strings. If you're worried about a sag back. Okay, now this is the hot pass, and I'm just gonna do fail to flash. Even though this procedure was, as you see, I did a stick on a cap. As I said, guys, this is not the actual X-ray repair. This is for educational purposes. As I said, there was lots of requests if I can show how I do repair. So far, I was lucky, and I'm happy I don't have any real repairs in the field, so I can show you guys. So that's why I come up with this kind of. This is most common repair, especially with a Tig, as I said, porosity. And even though it's a stick cap, you can do repair with a Tig. I was in one refinery. I'm not going to name it. There was actually welding procedure for repair on a 6010 root. If you got repair, you can repair with a Tig, which doesn't make really sense to me, especially with 6010. All that you know how the 6010 root looks like, especially inside that pipe after it's done, and then you gotta do it with Tig. It's not really, I don't know, doesn't make it really sense, but it exists. It's one of the refineries. So as I said, if you got any repair, definitely you can do with a Tig. I think any QC is gonna allow you to do that. I think it's probably in procedure as well. And I'm gonna do 2 passes for repair, for cap, and that should be good enough. As I say, you don't have to worry much about the procedure. Like if it's stick, definitely you can weld with a Tig, especially if you did a root with a Tig. Pretty much, actually 100% sure that you can fix entire section with Tig all the way, or even if you do fail to flash it, then you can stick a cap. It doesn't really matter. It's just more easier for me. Do Tig everything, and that should be good. So anytime you guys got repair like this, just try to follow steps I just showed you here. You should be good. You should be golden. Just make sure everything is nice and clean. Check for your parts. That's first and most on your Tig torch. That might be one of the problems that can cause porosity. If you got any hole on your coil element, that's one of the first thing you want to check. That's when it gets hot, it might crack and start leaking some argon. That's gonna shoot right in your weld puddle. Check your collet, check your gas lens, check all those stuff, your argon settings, your argon flow, and all that stuff. Well, I hope guys, I hope you learn something. I hope you're not gonna have any repair, but just in case you do, I hope this video can help you. Share, like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Take care.